in Cresthill. Today is April 6, 2016.
In this broadcast, we will be taking a look about a story about photography club, a trip to the Capitol, Miss Herring's 4th period class,
A multimedia PSA, and teacher profile stories on Mrs. Fields and Mr. Beal.
Let's take a look at that story about photography club.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
On a cloudy afternoon at Cresthill Middle School, after the halls have cleared and lockers closed for the day, room 2134 buzzes with activity. Kids gather and talk amongst themselves. Some come to enjoy the scenery. Others come for the food.
Thief! Thief!
But everyone in the room has one thing in common: their love for photography.
My favorite part about photography is being able to express myself in a way that I normally can't, or in a way that's not as common.
And that's what they did. Groups split up and expressed themselves in uncommon ways. And Celery was born. A not-so-true story of young love. A story filled with trials and tribulations. There are more untold stories of Miss Herring's photography club, but those are for another time. This has been Tanner Gadarian in the halls, signing off. Zelda RY. Ha! Let us watch this next video.
You really had to stem out for that pun.
I just went right to the root of it.
Now down to Colfax Lane with an explorer's field trip to the Capitol.
On February 26, 2016, Miss Herring's 4th period class went on a journey. A journey to the Denver Capitol to make a change. For months, the students have been preparing a project about human trafficking.
My favorite part was probably going into the legislature and watching the bills get passed, because we got to see that it's not as serious as people may view it to be, because it was a very casual atmosphere even though everyone was dressed super professional, and it was the most fun, I think.
We also later went on a march just around the Capitol. We went around 2 or 3 times, just doing a bunch of chants and holding posters, raising more awareness for human trafficking.
They presented to representatives and marched around the Capitol. The students raised awareness about human trafficking and made a difference in Colorado.
My biggest takeaway from this field trip is that human trafficking can happen anywhere to anyone. We heard from a couple of victims and how they were kidnapped in Colorado and used for human slavery.
This impacted me because it helped me understand that yes, we can make a difference, and yes, if we try hard enough, we can cause a change, because human trafficking is something that's a really big problem right now, and especially because there's more slaves today than there were ever before, and this helped me understand that it is a problem and we can do something to help end it.
Congratulations, Miss Herring's 4th period class.
People, not property! People, not property! People, not property! People, not property! Can you help me?
It's good to know that we have a social studies class that's willing to go down to the Capitol and make a difference.
It's also good to know how to treat someone the right way, and that is what our next PSA is all about.
Make sure to always treat people with respect, especially our teachers.
And whether in the classroom, in the lunchroom, or in the halls, make sure to treat all teachers and staff members with respect.
Now for a teacher profile on one of our science teachers, Mr. Beal.
Great story, great story. 1985. I was going to be a scientist of some kind. I went to a great school, science, and it was really good that I had no idea what I was going to do in science. I went through the student union, that's like the food court of the school, and they had all these summer camps that were there. In summer camps, we were interviewing people to do a summer job, and I thought, well, that's cool, I'll do a summer job as a counselor in the camp. As long as I end up loving being around kids. So I mixed science with camp counselor part, and here I am as a science teacher.
Mr. Beal is a good teacher because he makes this environment really fun for us, and he's a really funny person to be around, and he makes us work to the best that we can be and makes us think on a deeper level than we usually would.
What makes Mr. Beal a good teacher is how he enforces things. He doesn't really let you do whatever you want. He does give you enough freedom to learn, and if you're overusing his power, he will discipline you, and he's not afraid to crack jokes.
This class is different from other classes because we get the freedom to think creatively and make our own experiments in a way that no one else would.
I think the learning environment is very straightforward and keeps us focused to prepare us for high school, and I think it's really healthy.
I will tell you, we've got a great school. That Cresthill has giant rooms. We have this, I'm looking at them now, they're just really wonderful. So the other schools have small rooms. So just the actual look of the room, we're so lucky at Cresthill, these giant science labs. They have different in my class. I don't think I'm too different than anybody. I do like to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun and laughter. I try to make science where it's not so nerdy and have a lot of fun. So we laugh a lot.
Bill, you gotta get up. Lunch just ended.
Oh, my alarm didn't go off. Wow. Thanks, man. Thank you. Whew.
That was a very interesting story.
Now for another teacher profile by Multimedia, this time on Mrs. Fields.
I love being a language arts teacher because I think it opens up a lot of facets for discovery and for the kids to get jazzed about writing and reading across the board.
It's my favorite class because we have a lot of fun, and she's a very humorous personality, and she makes the class really fun.
Another type of teacher, another subject. Gosh, I think it would be really cool to be a social studies teacher and have the kids learn about different cultures and different parts of the world.
I like language arts because she's super nice to everybody, and she's so much fun to do the activities with, and she makes games out of them, and she makes sure everybody's having fun. And
the tests are really fun, and so she's not super strict, and so that makes it fun.
I've always worked with kids ever since I was a kid. I was a camp counselor. I love to babysit. I love to be around kids, try to inspire them and motivate them. The students, I get joy and I get laughter all day from hanging out with the kids. If I could just hang out with the kids and not deal with any of the other stuff going on in a building.
She's teaching us in a fun way to where everybody gets to learn and not be bored with a paper and pencil, and she gets to make games out of it, so it's fun and everybody enjoys it.
Well, that's all we have for today.
And remember, you're 100% less likely to drown if you're not near any water.
Stay snazzy, Cresthill.